One, and they're going to share one. So we'll build it first on Tinkercad, and then we'll be here in person and upload the code. So if you want to download the Arduino IDE off of their website, it's the first one, and you have to choose for Windows or for Mac. It downloads pretty fast. You just downloaded it, right?
It's downloading right now.
Yeah. So I will start right now. If you want to open Tinkercad, because we're going to do 3 examples today. So when you first open up the Arduino IDE, it comes exactly like this. It already has the void setup and the void loop already there for you with the comments. So the void setup is stuff that's going to run for the beginning. You're just setting up what the pins are going to be. And once they're in the setup, you can't change that unless you go back in manually and change like pin mode to 9 or something if you want to change where it's connected. And the loop is just like a main loop, so it's going to run that. That's the code that you're actually running. So this is what we wrote last week, turning the light on and off again. That's just forever because it's in the main loop. So pin mode function, this is one of the main ones in the void setup. And this is just the syntax. You do pin mode, the pin that you're doing, and then mode is either high or low, input or output. See, input or output. And parameters. You can also, the Arduino Uno and the Nano come with pull-up resistors and pull-down resistors already built in. So you can engage those two by doing input _ pull-up, but we're not going to do that today. And it doesn't return anything. Like in C, some functions return a number. These don't return anything. And the digital write, this is the same thing as the pin mode, except it writes if it's going to be outputting something or inputting. If it's outputting something, you got to set it to high. If it's not doing anything, you just set it to low. So that's all we need to cover. We'll cover it more when we build the first thing on Tinkercad. So this is the first thing we're going to build on Tinkercad. I'm going to switch over to Tinkercad so we can build it. So we're going to start with just putting an Arduino board. And all we need for this one is a potentiometer. I'm just going to turn this so it's easier for me. So when you hover over things, it tells you what they're doing. And the potentiometer, if you hover over it, says terminal 1, wiper terminal 2. So terminal 1 and 2 have to be the voltage and the ground. On Arduino, it doesn't matter which one, so I'm just going to select a random one. And put this one into 5 volts. This will be the input. And I'll set the other one on the edge to ground. And then the middle one you have to set to any pin. And it has to be an analog pin though, because it's taking in information. So you can choose any pin that's has an A in front of it. Oh my god, color. I'm gonna do A0.
Having trouble connecting.
Everyone got it? So when you open Tinkercad, it's really annoying that it automatically writes stuff for you that's not relevant at all. So I'm gonna delete that stuff. So we're gonna start with the pin mode. We're gonna do pin mode. Also, Tinkercad is case sensitive, so if you don't capitalize the M in pin mode, it's not gonna recognize that function. So the first thing in pin mode, as we went over before, is the pin. So for the potentiometer, what would the pin be? Just A0. And because it's a potentiometer, it's a dial, we're gonna be input. It's gonna take in information and send it to the Arduino. And you have to put a semicolon at the end of the statement. So for this one, we could have done an LED like we did in the past where you just clip the LED to the outside, but I'm going to use the built-in LED that the Arduino comes with. So to engage that one, it's pin mode again, but you don't have an actual pin, so you need to put in LED underscore built in. And it's outputting something, it's outputting light. So we're going to output. So this is the setup. Once we've set this up, we can't change this unless we re-upload the code and change it. So if we want to switch it from A0 to A1, we have to go in there and change the code. So now we're going to do the loop. So for this one, we went over sensor value last week. The same thing. The V has to be capitalized or it's not going to understand it. So another function that Arduino has is analog read. So what analog read is, it only works with the analog pins. So we have the potentiometer plugged in to the analog pins over here. An analog pin basically is just telling it to read what you're putting into the analog. So you do analog read. So this is just telling it read the information that's coming from the analog pins. And you have to put the pin that you're doing.
Is that an equal sign?
Yes, equals. So the place where you can find what all of these functions do is at the Arduino reference. So if you just want to look up how to set up an LED or something, you can just look it up and it'll tell you these functions. And then after you do it for a while, you'll learn what they are. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the LED on. We're going to do digital write. So for digital write, the first thing it takes in is the location. So does anyone know what location we're going to write the information to? If we want the built-in LED to turn on, what do we have to write the information to? Which pin?
There's not.
It would be the LED built in. So if we want the LED built in to turn on, we have to. If it was an actual LED that we had like plugged into one of these pins, we would just put the number of the pin.
Oh, okay, so if it was an outside LED, we have.
Yeah. If we had an LED like connected to pin 8, we would just put 8.
Okay.
But that one, the LED is built in this one?
Yeah, the LED for this one is built in. It's one of these lights down here. It'll turn on. And we need to set it to high for on, just like we did last week. And we want it to blink. So last week we used the blocks and I think the blocks is like wait, and then you do how many seconds. On here, instead of doing wait, you just use the function delay. And it's in milliseconds. So there's 1,000 milliseconds in 1 second. So I'm just going to do 1,000.
Then you turn it off, right?
Yeah, then you turn it off and you delay again.
I don't know.
We put low, right?
Yeah, I'm going to let everybody catch up.
See, after delay, I couldn't see. It's a number.
1,000. You can put any number. 1,000 is just 1 second. So if you want it to blink for half a second, you put 500. This is the exact same thing we did last week, except instead of using an LED, we're just using the built-in one that comes with the Arduino. So if you've already done the code, you can start the simulation and see if it works. Because there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Good thing. No. Shouldn't have to.
Should there be space between the, does it matter about spaces exactly?
No, spacing does not matter. Should work.
1,000 is milliseconds or nanoseconds?
Milliseconds. Let's see, it should work. Let me see something. I'm gonna change it for 1 second, see if it works. Why is it doing that?
You were to set delay to 1,000, right? Or if you put like to sensor value, wouldn't you have to declare sensor value to be 1,000?
Well, we set sensor value to what the potentiometer is. Oh, I guess
And what do we have to do?
1 second.
It is one of the
Okay, yeah, there we go, it's fine. So you can just delete sensor value for now. It's because I was doing it for the potentiometer, but right now we're not using the potentiometer. Okay. So the light that's blinking is that one.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's strange. I don't know what's up.
Oh, heck yeah, it works.
Yes, huh?
And the potentiometer is not affecting anything right now.
No, not for now.
Will the potentiometer affect the time?
Yeah, so we're gonna use the
Okay.
potentiometer to change how fast it blinks. So I'm gonna add in the sensor value again. Stop simulation. Did everyone online get that? I can't hear them, so I'm gonna assume yes. Okay, I'm gonna put it back to what it was.
does capitalization matter when you like put in the name of the pin?
For the functions, yes. Right now, sensor value is just a variable that we've declared, but analog read is a function, so the R in that needs to be capitalized. So I'm going to change the delay to what the sensor value is reading. So it'll read what the potentiometer is saying. Hopefully it works this time.
And that way you can change it with the
Potentiometer. Oh, you're right. I did have to initialize it, yeah. So because sensor value is an integer, it's reading from the potentiometer as an integer, you have to initialize it as 0 or any number. I chose 0.
Folks online are still good.
Okay.
Equals 0.
So this one doesn't have to be in your void setup because it doesn't have anything to do with the pins. So it can be outside of the void setup too.
Okay, it works. Wow, that's like.
Did it work for you?
How would you be able to change like the starting,
What do
like
you
the starting, like the speed? So if like you wanted to start at a slower pace,
Then you would just do the delay. You would start with the delay
you'd start with the slower pace.
and set it to whatever you want.
Okay.
Or you can do the sensor value and divide it by something because it's a number. So
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
divide it by something.
Is there any way to see what the number?
That's your idea.
In real life, no. On Tinkercad,
Yeah.
yes. Let's see.
I'm just curious. I just don't. I don't-
Can you see it on Tinkercad? I don't think so. No.
Oh.
You just click on it and you can use your mouse and it does it. So for the people in person, I brought Arduinos and they have the IDE downloaded to their laptops. So they're gonna build it here in person. Justin is gonna build it over there and he's gonna show it on the camera. And then we'll talk about uploading, how to upload stuff onto the Arduino.
No, I think I might.
I didn't just copy the code from what we've done in Tinkercad. Pardon? Is there any way to like copy and paste our?
Yeah, so if you wrote that on Tinkercad, just take that whole thing and paste that whole thing into the reference.
Okay.
So for the people online, I'm gonna download it here so you can see what it looks like.
Alrighty, let's go. Okay.
So you guys have the Nano, because that's all I had at home. Pause. Ooh, what is this? How do I? Is this an Arduino?
Okay, no.
Holy moly, it is not.
And put it in 5D.
Oh, it's so tiny.
How do I stop sharing?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
It's the
It was
same.
just
Oh, wait.
It's right next to the green thing, you know.
Do you wanna?
No, it's,
I have it.
well, they should go all the way in.
I copied the,
okay.
the code.
We're gonna be building it.
Oh, cool.
I copied the
This is
code
just
on
like
here,
that.
so let's just.
So before you do it, the people online are not gonna be able to see this unless I share my screen with.
Sharing,
Well, because he's showing how to build it up.
yeah.
Let me see, Justin.
Very hard. So yeah, you just downloaded.
I'm guessing we put it here, right? We put it into here, but I don't wanna force it. I think it's like this, right?
If you're having any.
Oh, no, because it's gonna be in the same note.
Oh, yeah, it has to be here.
I know.
I don't want to force it.
Yeah.
So if you
Do you wanna
ever, if you ever
try?
get
I
some
don't
box
want
place, just scroll down and just download it.
It is the Arduino one?
You can if you want.
Yeah, it's Arduino. It looks like a, what are those bugs again? You know?
I mean,
It's always good to have.
No. There's a
But if you're
an
ever-
electronic bug toy.
oh.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the what are those? Those like electronic.
Can I take that for a second?
Yeah.
So you can compare.
They're all hex bugs. It looks like a hex bug.
Yeah, I think I'm right.
Oh, dude.
They used to like walk around and stuff and shit.
Yeah, like they used to just buzz around and walk. I used to scare my mom like crazy. How do we connect the?
They have different connections too, so this one is.
How do you connect it? Yeah, with that. Well, that.
Yeah,
we need
yeah,
for
that
the
to
other-
the. Where's the Arduino?
It's
with
she has.
her right now.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it's the other.
Yeah,
Nah,
these-
that's
these
just
are
the.
Um,
what about-
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't- Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Timing.
Okay. I'm guessing we plug it in here, right?
yeah, but. I'm like,
So that one, the Nano is different than the Uno. You're gonna have to read the pins and see what they say.
Oh,
Okay,
this
I'm
is
gonna
So first put it on there.
on here.
you,
Oh,
you have to put
damn.
it like anywhere. Or
Put it,
you have to
put it in the middle or
In the
something.
Okay.
Push it in.
Did you finish that one?
I don't want to force it in.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you have to find 5 volts on there.
Oh, and then when we
And then do all the connections, yeah.
Like that,
do we have
I just
wires
press and then like
Yeah.
or is it just?
I got it.
I was getting too much. I was always listening to
Yeah. Honestly, a bunch of, plus it barely counts if you think about it. Because 25% of our lab, and I have, and that's the whole thing.
What's this
25%
thing?
of-
Is this the increasing?
But it's, I did, what's it first.
Oh, well, I guess when I use the mouse. And then you got the practice. Oh, you're not gonna do practice?
I'm gonna, I just wanna make sure I have it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I see there's a 5 volt here. There's a ground here, and then we just connect it to a pin. So we can just connect it to
Connect the ground first.
the ground
So the Nano setup a little different, but
like that.
you just have to read the pins.
Yeah.
All right, right?
What is it?
And then the middle one you have to connect to an analog.
And that will be 0 since we.
Yes.
That's what I love.
Did you burn the?
Yes.
You burnt the LED?
No, I just.
Yeah, but,
Really?
Yes.
I tried it at home and it worked fine. Let's see if theirs works.
It's because like.
Wait,
There was,
I
like,
didn't do
five-
one question. Because I didn't know how to do it. So I'll do it later.
Did you start it at 0? It should.
Because we only have like the Swedish thing. I did everything except that one question, but then. But there's nothing
Dang.
about homework grades on the practice test. Or like.
Well, yeah, I'm still trying to get done.
Did we still put in- Have you been doing good on the quizzes?
Yeah.
I'm too scared that I'm gonna
I
break
think
it.
Deepa's like forgiving or like,
This is-
Oh, this
She goes-
isn't the
she-
right
she-
one.
she gets
Dang.
pretty-
yeah.
Where's this connection?
It's not my fault.
Do you guys have any nano wire connections here? No, because they're using, it's a different connection. I brought the micro SD, but it's not micro SD.
Wait, show me.
It's little, it looks the exact
Oh,
same,
I think,
but it's
no, I
not
left it at home.
Hmm?
No, I
this
don't.
connection. It's not micro SD. It looks like it, but
Oh, yeah.
if you guys have a nano in there, it probably comes with a wire.
Look.
Is the setup correct though?
Yes. Yes? Yes.
Did-
Did you get it to work?
No. Or is it flip the other way?
Oh, yeah, I was saying, yeah, that's right. For the
I just plugged it in.
circuit
It just
It's kind of just record videos, I chop them off, and then make them look like they're not chopped up.
Oh, okay.
He faked the whole thing, because it wouldn't, like he said, he's gonna spend 12 hours doing it, and it wouldn't
That's
work.
smart though.
So he kind of just chopped up the video, doesn't look like it's chopped up.
Well, that's smart. Yeah. Leave that one for other people.
Yeah. Oh,
I just. Not just like that. You'll be in the class. Holy shit.
All right, now. Okay, the middle one goes to A0, right? Oh, that one. All right, and then the.
Oh, that's why you burned it, Jeff.
Okay, hold on. And then this one, on the right, shows the ground. Yes.
Oh, he's using it.
A's.
So before you finish it,
Goes to 5.
Oh, I see.
so go down to.
I think we got like. Right, so this one goes to 5. This one goes to ground. Say buddy. Yeah.
500. So
And,
2,
all right,
and then 4. So you could change which board. Choose.
this.
Then once you plug it in, you have to select which board. But he has the one.
All right, plug it in one more time. Woo!
Connected it wrong.
Did he get it?
Yeah, you go.
We have more potential. It's no big deal.
You didn't choose which board you're gonna.
Oh, right.
Do you want to come up in?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Cool, right? And or-
Oh, you don't have one?
I only have one wire at home, so we're gonna have to, I'm just gonna upload it and then big.
Okay.
We have it. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't have to disconnect it or.
No, that's, so when you have just the no power source, the wire is what's gonna charge.
All right, I'm done. I'm good.
It's bad.
Just, I probably kept it plugged in for like 45 seconds.
Nothing.
No, like when it was the wrong way.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember how you had it plugged in.
So apparently my A0 and my 5 volts were swapped.
Oh, you already have one.
I just didn't.
Oh, no.
Here, do you want to do, you guys can.
How many more do you need?
What happened? Oh,
We're just gonna do this. Banana is not.
How many of them?
Well, the new is, I looked at it really.
Alrighty, be using this big boy.
It's like, it's like.
Okay, we got the big
Do you
version.
need more? We have got more.
Alright.
Yeah, you have an
What is it?
So
Do
if
you
you
know?
yeah.
I remember specifically Cullen mentioning how terrible it was.
I don't like it, you know?
That's that's the one.
Can I see the name?
Yeah.
That's the-
That's the nano. There we go. No? Okay, fine. And then what's that? Oh, board. Yeah, it's working. Yeah, so when you move it, it's. Give it a try. It's just compiling the code. So it's like loading it so it can run it.
Is that the Arduino ID?
Yeah.
Well, how do you get to do that? Oh, how'd you get to the document?
I have no idea. I downloaded it that way. It's probably because my computer is like
Yeah.
has like automatic downloads or something. Forced download.
There you go.
That's what I call it.
That's the LED.
Mhm.
It's this one. Okay.
You know what I'm gonna do when I get that? I'm skipping chemistry. I hate that class. I'm
Are you
going.
first year?
No. I'm in
What are you majoring in?
computer.
Oh, the best part of our major is that we only have to take chemistry one.
Yeah.
I know. I hate chemistry
Yeah,
so
same.
much.
No,
It's
yeah,
the worst
I-
class. This dude,
It's the worst.
this mother. Okay, I don't know. This
Wait, this is
dude,
professor?
good.
Oh,
Chemistry.
No, not chemistry.
Russian? I think he's like pretty good for
He's this dude just puts words on the screen. I'm like, where are the pictures? I need pictures.
I had my chemistry like during COVID, so I had my chem lab, and chemistry all night.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Physics one. I'm taking classes. I have another.
I really want to. I like skip all the lectures because it's not for grade.
Really?
It's not for. He doesn't edit for a grade. So I just skip it and I watch lectures on YouTube of another professor. I can't remember his name.
Maybe it's
but
because he also.
I just watch the lectures on YouTube and I'm like, okay, I'm set. This is fine.
Yeah.
Could be.
So
You have
I'm
a lot
doing
of
fine.
homework for that class?
Just
Like,
like
you
every
don't have
week. It's just every week.
No,
He
yeah,
doesn't give a
I
lot of homework. It's just every week. We just have one assignment.
You did like balancing the question.
Same. I'm glad that we don't have one class. Like, can I continue?
Yeah, we have to like, yeah.
God, I could not survive with another chemistry class.
I just turned like in July.
We read that.
How old are you?
Daniel are old.
How old are you?
18.
Just wait till you meet like, as you progress, you're gonna meet like people that are way older than you.
I
I'm
graduated.
they're like 20, 22.
Yeah, no, I have a friend in calculus and he's switching majors right now. He's taking calculus 1 for the 3rd time and he's 23. But yeah,
Okay, Uno?
yeah, just the board.
I found the plug for the NAND.
But yeah, no, he's funny. He's in the frat. He has like long hair.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
why
yeah,
you found it.
No, he's actually smart. I think he's smart. He just didn't care about, like, he just doesn't care enough to get. I'm like, dude, you're paying for this shit. Like, you should probably care. And then he was in the Navy as well. So, of course, so, you know, like, so it's like he's older. So.
I think it's to graduate with you. Because I graduated with you.
Wait, what years are y'all?
You don't have to select.
I can't
I know
tell.
when I use.
You're supposed to have it like next semester.
Oh, next semester, yeah.
Oh, but.
Yeah, so-
And how do you-
Because other
how do you
friends-
fall behind?
Because my visa got denied for the first time, so I had to take it off. And then when I came here, it was.
So what are you going back?
Yeah, no, I just couldn't come here the first time. Yeah, I got accepted, but my visa got denied.
I was lucky that my visa got approved.
Yeah.
That my green card got approved when I was signing up.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. Like my visa, I got accepted to University of Houston, and then my visa got denied, so I couldn't come. And then I had to wait for my green card to get approved.
That's funny.
And then once it got approved, it was like a week into like uni, and then there was no classes. So all I took was, I don't know, 2 government classes and a history class or something. So that made me fall behind like a year. And then there was the year when semester when COVID first happened, I had to go back home. And then the time like was bad, like all my classes were at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. So I couldn't do it. So I just like dropped half my.
Still gonna use for now or not?
And then I just tried. So that's how it's supposed to look.
That's wacky.
I mean, I was supposed to be like, well, that's how it is. I thought my first semester.
No, it's good. Turning on it once.
Well, circuits is just
It's like, I don't even know why, 'cause why could I not know?
Oh, no, this is
That
the,
was simple circuits,
Yeah,
it's like-
but it's tough like.
it's just like solving circuits and like current stuff, right?
Yeah, but it's like, they give, yeah, you say that? Yeah, and then you eat WCDs, and then he gives you like insane. And then it gets complicated. But now looking back at
Yeah,
it,
but
now
that's
that you're in
not-
circuit
that's
two,
stress, that's
you're like,
stress.
it's fine.
If you like, because the reason I feel circuits, because I understood it, I only didn't because I put it as like a last priority. The circuits 1 and 2 should be your like pretty much like
Yeah,
first
like-
priority.
If you're taking circuits, that should be your priority. Like, and then the other classes.
But it just gets me mad that
Alright, see you.
they're
And-
2-hour classes. I'm like,
in
engineering
101 this.
yeah, you'll
Yeah,
be fine.
you'll be fine.
Yeah, we don't. You know, I
You
was like, she's probably trying to like scare you, but like, don't worry.
I just need to put a lot of work in that class.
My brother took
I
it
did,
like
we
need to put it
for
here.
tonight, I took physics in high school.
He said it was fine.
And the second half, it was like electrical and magnetism. So electricity and magnetism, so we had a whole like unit.
Oh, I thought I had
on
turned it
circuits
off.
and stuff. So like I already have some background
Okay,
knowledge.
that's good. Yeah,
So-
like KBLs and TCLs.
Yeah,
No, it's on the
all
microphone.
Ohm's law and everything. Just solving it. It's so fun, actually. I know it sounds stupid, but it's
No, I
kind of fun.
agree.
It's like Sudoku or some shit like that, you know?
Does it
It's
work?
like-
Satisfying when you,
It's
like-
satisfying when it
when
all
you
fits
solve it,
together.
when
It's like, oh,
Yeah, I get that.
beautiful. Oh my god.
Do you like circuit?
All the stuff.
I feel
Yeah.
like-
What's the
like now
difference?
it's
Yeah, it's on.
Actually, Dave invented that.
The hard part is like the math.
Yeah,
Remember the equation, but it should be pretty good.
yeah.
It's
Circuits
two.
too.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Is this, is it
Know
working now?
about that in AP physics.
Is
Yeah.
it working now?
Fucking bullshit. No. I just took AP physics in high school. That's all I
Do you have the credit?
No. I have to retake because I got a 3 on the exam, so I have to retake it.
Yeah, we did all this stuff.
No, I have to take it. I have to take both classes again because it didn't transfer over because I got a 3 on the exam,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't transfer over. It sucks ass, but it's fine. I'm kind of happy that I'm retaking it though, so I can get a refresher on this stuff, you know? I'm just trying to cope right now. That's why I'm saying this.
Can you hear it?
Grand truck.
I don't know if they can hear me online.
The names they make up for Tinkercad for like the automatic stuff is so weird.
Is it working now?
That's why it's not coming, it's like, what's the issue? Oh.
Hello. It's this one though. Hello.
Maybe try unplugging it off. Then replug it.
Can you hear it now?
That's-
Okay, so the next one we're gonna build is also with a potentiometer, but it's gonna be a motor. So instead of turning light on and off faster, it's gonna turn the motor a certain amount of degrees that you set the potentiometer to. So I'm gonna do the board. And for this one, you need a breadboard because there's more connections.
Smoke?
Yeah, it can be small. Here, I'm gonna show you which motors. It's a servo motor, so you can choose the micro server. Because that's the one I brought today. And you also need a potentiometer. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect the potentiometer exactly like we did for the last one. For this one, I'm gonna do. So it should be the same connections as last time. You can connect it to A0 again if you want.
Oh.
Oh, actually, you know what? Wait 1 second. I'm gonna make it easier. I'm gonna connect it directly to the here, so it's less messy. And then you can connect the 5 volts and ground from the board directly to the breadboard. Can you see? You're just connecting the potentiometer. Why did I do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Are they both
No,
supposed
this
to
one's
be
supposed to be on the positive.
Oh, another one is negative.
Yeah. My bad. It's just so far away that I can't see. Okay. So I'm going to ground this row here.
And I'm gonna connect the
And I'm going to do 5 volts.
5 volts.
Yeah. One thing that Justin and I were talking about, which maybe you didn't see if you were online, if you're plugging the Arduino directly into your laptop, that's the power source. So you don't need a battery or anything if it's plugged in, but if you want to take it somewhere or you're doing something where you don't have the laptop, you're going to need a battery.
So the right
Which
side
side
is
is it?
so the right side of the potentiometer is the positive side, right?
On Tinkercad, it doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay.
For the potentiometer, it doesn't matter, but if you scroll over the servo motor, it tells you which is which on the inputs. So I'm going to ground the servo.
What's it for?
Micro servo.
Micros.
You said defended or one tripping? Oh, yeah, great. Of course.
And the middle one is power.
Yeah. And then the signal, you have to put into one of the digital PWM pins. So one of the numbers with a tilde on the front.
Oh, okay.
So,
It can be anyone. Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know.
I'm going to do 3. It's that one. Oh.
I mean,
What is that one?
it's just like,
It might work. Just click on it to see the connections.
yeah, you should.
So one of the PWM, so one of the ones with the tilde.
With the
Tilde.
tilde?
It's the squiggly one.
That's
I
what it's
just called it squiggly line. I didn't know it was tilde.
Tilde.
Tilde?
Yeah. The only reason I know that is because in Portuguese you need a tilde.
Yeah. Wait, are you
I'm from Brazil.
You are? I'm half Brazilian.
Ah, sick.
Yeah.
We're gonna communicate in Portuguese.
No, I can't speak. My
Oh,
dad speaks, but I can't. I understand it.
oh, can you see it? I don't know if you guys saw, but you can bend wires on Tinkercad. Like I bent this one. You don't have to do them straight.
How do you bend them?
You just click.
Click or-
You click wherever you want it to bend. So if you want it to bend right here, click, and then bend.
Oh,
That took me so long to figure out that they could bend.
No.
Wow.
I would too.
Okay, so it's run like this? Or
No, we
that's
haven't,
what they-
we haven't written the code. It's really annoying that it automatically writes some random. So this one has some special stuff because we need some special functions. So we need to include a library.
What was the thing?
Is that a hashtag?
Yeah,
Is there
hashtag
any
include.
ones that have a code?
Okay.
Do they have a code?
And then this is the name of the library that I'm going to include.
What's the number for it?
Servo.h.
Does Arduino automatically
Include it, yeah.
when you download it?
For Tinkercad, yes, you might have to download it to your laptop
For Tinkercad?
for when you upload it to the actual hardware.
Oh, so for the Arduino
Yeah.
thing, okay.
So
How do I do
it's
that?
supposed to, on TickTock,
It's like a really basic version of C. It doesn't have all the functions. I mean, you can download them as libraries.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna initialize some values. You can name them anything you want. I'm just gonna do input and output so that they're easy to remember. Int.
I hate people like this. They have no fun. He doesn't have fun.
Why is it equal to 0?
I'm just initializing it to 0
Oh.
so that when it starts, it's at a 0-degree angle instead of starting at like a 70-degree angle. So if you look at the hashtag include the servo library, you go into all the data they have and explains all the functions. One of the functions they have is servo. And you can name a servo. So I'm going to just name it servo_3 because I plugged mine into the third pin. You can name yours anything you want. The void setup, you got to set up the potentiometer the same way that you did before. So in mode, the pin that you chose, I did a 0 again. So does everyone have that? Before I move on. So this is another function from the servo library. So you first put the name of the servo that you're going to write this information to. And then period attach. So that's how you write information to the servo. Put down the pin, mine's 3. $500, $250. I'll explain what these numbers are later. These are usually the numbers that everyone chooses, like the baseline.
Do they have to do with the pins of this one?
I have it written down.
Or is it the, maybe it's the degrees?
Let's
How
see.
far it turns, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do I have it here? So this is the min. So for the servo.attach, you have the pin. The min is the pulse width, so the angle.
Wait, so mine is.
And then the max is the max angle.
Ah, okay.
So when I went into the servo library, this is like the information that they have. I just
Okay.
copied and pasted what they had.
I
Yeah,
think
so it's min.
you might want to call you.
Wacky.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just call it 3.
Yeah.
No.
No, so that's confusing.
So now we're gonna do the loop. So we initialized input at the beginning. I chose input. If you chose a different variable, write that variable down. But input equals. So we're gonna read the information from the potentiometer. And then we're going to output that information. So for the output, we're going to use something called the map function, which is also from the servo library. Let me go there so you can see what it looks like. So this is the map function. So if you don't know how to use something, I literally just looked up how to make a servo work with Arduino, and it literally gives you it step by step. So if you don't know how to make something work, just look it up. The internet has it. So this is the syntax, or can I move this? This is the syntax for the map function. So it has outputs, and I set it to 0. And can I move that up there? So I'm going to set it to 0. The max, or the min, and the max.
Wait, 1023 is a max. What is that?
Oops. That's the pulse width, how fast it'll turn,
Oh,
and this is the
okay.
max.
Is that 100?
Oops. So you haven't actually written any information to the servo yet. So to write something to the servo, you have to use servo, the servo name, whatever it is, minus servo_3. Attach. Oh, oops, attach. Right. So it's kind of like pin right, but for the servo. And what we're going to write is whatever you're reading from the potentiometer. So input. So you could just upload that and it should work, but that has some issues because you need to delay it slightly, or else if you start turning the potentiometer, it'll kind of drive the motor insane. So whenever you're using a servo, it's a good idea to delay it for a couple milliseconds. I'm just going to do 2.
It's 10.
Oh, 10. Yeah, 10.
So what are those numbers in the parentheses for the map?
For the output,
Yeah,
0. So it starts at 0 min and 123 pulse width, so how fast it turns, and then 0 to 100 degrees.
Oh,
So-
0 to 100.
So your servo has a certain bounds. It can't just like turn infinitely. You can set it.
Wait, but then what about 502?
This is different. Here, I'll show you the different functions. So the first one is min and max.
Min and max for
Pulse width for microseconds, so
Okay.
0 degree. And it tells you the defaults. I just set it to the defaults.
Okay.
And the max pulse width. And then the map. There are different ranges for different things. I just always set it to the same basic thing. This is what the art people at Arduino recommend that you set it to. So you should run the simulation and it should work.
It's not working. I mean, it says it's running, but every time I turn.
Oh, you did?
No.
Mine's
Oh,
working. Did you do it exactly like mine?
Oh, yeah, it's just, oh.
So you can see that it delays it slightly
Right,
because we
it's
put in the
just not-
delay.
No, that's how you. I think that's how.
Is it really not
So
working?
turn now 100.
No, let me double check.
What does it say? Oh, your outfit. Double top. Top, if you're missing a back is over here.
Did you wire it from?
Attach, just hold that one over here.
Damn.
Import view.
Yeah, right, right.
No, you spell
I still haven't spelled it.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Attach, without T.
Oh my god.
Without this.
Yo, that's T.
Let me try it again. Let me just restart the, let me restart
Yeah.
the,
No, yeah.
let me redo the wires.
Spellings?
Actually, did that.
Wait, just start the simulation again. Let's see what happens. And turn it.
It's kind, you have to like scroll up and down. Like, you just.
Let me
press
redo the
button
wires.
again.
I'm gonna stop. and-
Is everyone else is working?
Doesn't repeat, right? Just,
No.
No, you just,
it just like, so once it senses like a change limit, it's just gonna turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just turns. And then once it reaches the max, it goes back to the beginning.
But I thought that was the point of the loop.
No, the loop is like a main, the main. It's just called loop. Yeah, but it's like the main void.
But it is a loop.
If you want to do a loop, you have to do like for or if.
I forgot if I did that.
So it's just like your main function, your main.
Yeah, it's just the main function.
Yeah, I know what they call it.
If you have it exactly like mine, it should be working. Did yours work? Did yours work?
And then.
If you want to build it.
Here, we-
And here's the thing for you.
yeah, okay, there's something wrong with my code then.
That's what-
The bread. Oh, the bread. No, the bread.
You. That room.
So that's
You going into the workshop? Yeah. Hopefully you would take a look. I didn't know you were trying.
It's
I took
right.
the last
You
video.
didn't
Is
see?
Martin?
It's correct.
Oh, but he's not.
You put input in all caps when you initialized it as input with one zero.
Okay. Oh, and you, okay. Let's try it.
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, you took it.
yeah, awesome, thank you.
Could you just pass the breadboard?
What?
Could you pass the breadboard?
Oh, yeah,
I think I gave everyone a servo motor. It should work if you just copy and paste that into the Arduino IDE. Okay, well,
Yeah,
I can't see shit.
same.
Oh, no.
I can play it out for you.
Thank you. Okay, so this is the positive term? Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, does this one go to the positive?
This one?
Does
Is
this
that
one,
the
so
left?
this one is the positive. Is the left one that's the positive one?
Yes.
So if someone wants to use the nano, they can. And then this one should go to,
The analog.
yeah, analog. What's the one? Let's do 0.
No.
And then
You started last week.
let's attach this. Mhm. What do we attach? Okay, and then we attach. What is this? So we have to do, the middle one is power, right? So that should go to the positive. So this one is the middle. Yeah. And then the one that's the
Complicating it.
here.
Controllers.
Is that the mode?
Yeah. Isn't it this dark one?
Yeah.
And then there's one more that needs to go to,
Any kind of soda.
So make sure it's on correct way you see it.
It's in, it's 100%. And then 3, but we need to connect we still need more wires because we need to connect these two to the ground. I just need 2 more.
No.
That breadboard doesn't have the.
Like right now.
If you take in circuit one, the one.
Okay, and then we just do. He took circuits 1 and 2. He took
Oh, he already did?
I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, how old are you?
What? Normally it's like 22.
Oh, okay. Okay. So.
Damn, people are old. I didn't know you could get that old. Super weird.
Listen, my team's like a senior or what?
I think he took a
He took a
break. He took a break. That's
He's like a junior.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's playing.
He took signals too.
I didn't know that.
So I think you're talking about that.
No, I just we had just one more conversation.
Okay. He always has one.
Yeah, he told me about his like car crash. Hold on.
Wait,
Yeah,
he-
yeah, he was like, it's just, we have like.
I think it's just because I
don't have.
you didn't connect it.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Did you-
yeah, it looks horrible.
I
That's
always
like
know
it actually looks terrifying.
You have to upload the
That
code.
was like Nathan.
No, I don't know, but that's it.
I'm actually surprised he survived. This was like.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
it's
no,
because
don't
I
say
just
that,
don't
bro.
have. No, honestly, it was that bad. Like it was a horrible car crash. Yeah,
2 weeks
it
ago.
was super recent.
What the?
Is it working? No.
Oh
I think
my
it's because
God,
I don't have the
same
server
shit I did with
language.
that. He just had a laptop too. I couldn't-
Oh, I did stop it.
Holy fucking, it's like right now. Is he okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he seemed fine. What the fuck?
He didn't get any injuries.
Oh my
The
God.
only injury was a seatbelt.
Thank God, bro.
It's just like nothing.
There you go.
Wait, so you've been going to the Katy campus, Laura?
Oh.
She left. Are we done?
Yeah, once it works, we're done.
Oh.
I was gonna do a DC motor, but that one was only gonna be on TickTock.
No?
Okay, yeah, no, I need a
You need to download the library.
install. Okay, this is the server, right?
Oh, it's a nice one. I see, I see. What do you think of it? If,
He was.
all the, and like, okay. Wait, he's a mental.
Minty, yeah.
Yes, I'm going to You guys want to go this one?
Dude, I don't think he can. I was planning to go with him.
He was gone.
Hey,
I'm trying to.
figure out what library exactly, because it has a library manager, right? And I can install it from the actual, so that's pretty good. I don't know which one.
It should just be the
You
one
can
that's
go from a
server.
little bit, and maybe somebody.
Yeah, it's their main library.
You have classes? Yeah.
Find it on their website.
Did we go to a Katy campus one?
What did you say?
Did we go to a Katy campus?
I went like twice.
Is that where you have class one?
Yeah. He lives close to Katy?
Some of them.
Does he live close to Katy?
Yeah, he lives.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. So people can make their
I
own
don't really
like,
want that
libraries
once
and
because
stuff.
he just
Yeah.
felt like it.
Yeah, at the beginning of
But
the
he doesn't live
semester.
anywhere.
No, I go when like I have the time or like,
Yeah, I haven't been going.
I mean, as long as we're focusing on class.
I don't. I always learn from like.
Yeah.
You have to
The
download
class
the
is
Turbo
really-
library.
It goes fast, and I don't know.
Turbo
The homeworks, I
dot
feel like
It's their
I don't
main
know, like,
library.
the stuff you learn from class are not really
Turbo
helpful when you do the homework. I feel like no, I feel like only for your homework 7, because homework 7 when I did that 7
Oh, so it's
because it was the.
Oh, it says it's included by default.
I feel like when you went over
So
it,
try to erase hashtag
it
server.
wasn't as intense as the homework.
Just
So I
to
struggled
delete
kind
that
of with that,
hashtag.
but once I did the homework and I solved it,
Yeah.
I got the homework.
Yeah, 7 was.
I'm gonna upload the code.
No.
So what can you do?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, there's a potential here. I don't know why it's like that, but you know, you see there's a plastic. I know, right? It looks like a fucking faucet. Never copy. So you taking E-Spec?
You'll upload.
E-Spec? No, engineering math?
Yeah. Is there any update?
Circus?
I just read that the new update, the servo.h library is included, so you can
Yeah, I've
delete
been-
the hashtag include.
Oh.
The servo library is included in the new
I have
update.
class tests who want those.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are those like, I passed with this.
I can send you those. Like, is it working for you? There's like a whole Google.
Yeah,
Doc.
it worked for me at work.
I hated that class, bro. Cause those tests.
That's not sure.
It's like you miss one thing and you're wrong.
Okay, apparently it's. like-
Oh yeah.
You're playing it.
Can you tell me exactly what the library, it's just server.h, right?
Yeah.
Server.h.
You can try this more, you can try this one.
But there's only one
Put this one in there.
that it's like, and it says like, unlike the
Wait, what's your
original
name?
server.h.
GeoGeo.
library, this
What
library
do you
does
say?
not use
But I'm not sure if it's gonna send
I'm
me
gonna
my number.
download. Or do we not mind?
Try it over.
Okay, so that worked. Right, and so if we refresh tools.
Are you going home?
See, like, it's plugged in.
Oh, my homework at 5:30.
Where you gonna go?
Probably the
So now we'll just have to
library.
put it on in the connections.
I don't know if that's.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's something to a number, that's why.
What's your name? So I can tell Martin that I saw you.
Me,
Yeah.
Laura.
Lauren?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should work. Let me see that.
Yes. Wait.
We're connected, right?
I think it's, you can get back now, but I think it's.
Oh, yeah. Sorry to
Alright.
be.
I was about to move this year, man.
Okay,
Oh my
library,
god.
do you know again?
Thank you, everybody, for joining. That is the end of the workshop.